what it is that you do and how you can help them and whether they like you. So it's just a cool opportunity for you to grab more attention of people and pull them into your cycle. And what we've found is maybe in your first month of doing this, you might not generate as much interest as you'd like to, but time and again, when you go to create your July freebie or like the next freebie for something, you can actually use your next freebie to go back to the people who first took your June freebie and email them and let them know that you have this new freebie, and then start the process again. Because we all know that everyone's not necessarily ready to dive into a healthy new routine at the time of when you're offering it. But if you keep that heartbeat going out to them, eventually they get ready to join you if you've always been consistently there. And that's really the simple system, and how simple I like to keep it is like, I have my community that is free. The beauty of this free community is that I get to just post fun, relevant stuff. I can always be inviting people into the community under the impression it's just fun people hanging out. I'll even get coaches being like, I'm a coach. I'm like, you can go in there. Like, it's not about Beachbody, but the value of it is tenfold, because I'm just getting to know people in a way where I get more of their attention, more so than I would in a newsfeed. But I'm also getting to collect email address so that I get to own that. If I ever wanted to, like, let's say for some crazy reason Beachbody decided to close up, I still have an email list and a community of people that know, like, and trust me, that I can choose to shift and sell something different to. Does anyone have questions on that, like, system in the process? I try to keep it really simple. Of course, the last step in your process is always to follow up. You have to follow up with people, but then it just kind of builds in your cycle.
What was that second email that you sent?
Okay, so my second email that I send after the freebie is just to check in, to make sure they got it, ask them what they think, and to share a bit more of my story. The point there is for us to connect a little bit and for them to see themselves in me. Because if they don't at all, they're probably not my ideal customer anyway, but they might see enough of themselves in me and that they stick around, or they're like, well, that resonates. And then the third email, no problem. And then again, that third email is really like, hey, by the way, I know we just met, but I feel like I have to at least let you know, I do run these monthly groups. It's how I've gotten my results. It's how I stay on track. If you're interested, respond to me or click this link and check out the bod group, whatever it is. But the whole point is always, let's move them to another step so that we can get to know each other a little bit better.
So I'm sorry, my internet got unstable and kicked me out of the meeting, so I missed you talking. So yeah. Do you have them, you said that you have them on an email series, that they get 3 emails from you when they go into your free group?
Yeah, so I'll walk through the cycle one more time.
Okay.
But how I work things these days is once a month, I collaborate with my team or the leaders on my team, and we create a freebie that's relevant to the challenge group we're going to be running next month. So I just yesterday rolled out to my team a freebie that we had created for the June challenge, if that makes sense. So we're a month in advance. That's always the goal. So we're not scrambling to hit Success Club and everything. We're really focused on that next month. And then I use that freebie to put out into my socials, like my Facebook, my Instagram, my stories, to ask if, I kind of give a little background around it. Like lately it was, I'm really sick of this quarantine 15 BS talk. So I decided to create, 10 snacks that don't suck, that are really helpful, for me and my family to stay on track. If you want the recipes, or if you want, the list, drop your email below or direct message me your email. The point is to grab their email so that I can start a 3-set email series that really focuses on pushing them towards my community, my free community.
Okay.
So that I know I capture them on an email list and in my community and get to know them. And I can usually see the people who decide to go into my community usually have resonated somewhere in my story in this 3-step email system, which looks like step 1, here's your freebie, come to my community. Step 2, how was your freebie? Here's a little bit about me, come to my community. And step 3, hey, by the way, I run challenge groups. Is this something you'd be interested in? To try to get them to say, yeah, I'm interested. I'm interested in hearing more, which then moves them down into the invitation process.
So Bria, can you go into a little bit more on like so how much is the freebie content? Like you just said, like, 10 recipes or so, you just do something like,
yeah,
they all kind of like,
it's like 10 recipes. I'll share here. Let me just pull up my most recent one and I'll share my screen here.
So you do a freemium once a month.
Once a month, a new freebie.
It's a short little quick like freemium.
It's a 10-stepper, a 10 recipes, like a quick guide. Like you could do your own that's going to be relevant, of course, to like you and your brand. I've decided at this point that it's important to do one that makes sense to my team so that we just have one that we work on together, so it's not so much work for everyone. It really just depends, I think, on where you are in your business. And
so who's creating the content for that freebie? You?
So sometimes me. I know there's lots of great people, like Ashley Shaw creates them. My cousin Michelle creates them. Like you can pay someone to create them. It's usually not that expensive.
Right.
Or you can, collaborate together and make it in Canva. If you have someone on your team who's good about those things.
Got you. Okay.
So let me just.
And then I noticed, do you add all those freebies onto that like landing page that you have that has all your freebies on there? So
yeah, and then I also do that. So
okay.
Let me just.
So that's how you ended up with so much content on that page from all those.
Yeah, so then each month I just kind of build.
That's awesome. I love it. I love how you do it. It's really cool to see.
Share my screen real quick. So here's one here, built in Canva. Do you see it? 10 snacks that don't suck. Oh, I just grabbed I guess I used this image for something. I grabbed the wrong thing, but it would have like 10 different snacks in there that like are healthy. And listen, you can just grab them from the Beachbody, website. You don't have to create them yourself. Or if you are creative, like I do find that people like most, like the actual snacks that I would eat. If you're being a product of the product, you're going to have 10 snacks that are your go-tos that you can share with people. But it's just a simple PDF that you create. Again, you can easily create it in Canva and make it look nice. Or again, you can go to ashleyshaw.ca, who I often use. Like I think this one is one of hers. Or Michelle Gadd. What is her? You should know what her stuff is. And buy it from someone. There's lots of like little things around if you want, or pool together as a team and do something like that. They're not that complicated to make. I just found I had to buy one this month to scramble because of how time was going. But let me just.
And then, okay, so then you might buy one, and then your whole team is doing like, they're all marketing it on their pages, like this freemium, and then they all have their own email list that they're sending it to.
Yes,
okay.
Exactly.
So they're duplicating what you do.
Pardon me?
So they're duplicating what you're doing, and
yeah, that's the idea. Is that once a month I'll work with my leaders and we'll put together a Google Doc that has the freebie and like some scripts of what we would say, and we're able to share that with the rest of the team, and it's up to them to execute on it. And then we just do.
I love that. That's awesome.
Simple, and it works, and it just kind of, again, it fixes that one key reason that people aren't consistent, which is they're just overwhelmed and they don't know what to do. And it also helps with the fact that it's just these days, especially for newer coaches, it doesn't necessarily work the same where you can just like post your call to action with your results on Facebook and get the same results. You might, but at some point we need to learn to foster relationships that aren't already in our existing network. And this is the way that's worked for me.
I love it. That's awesome. I mean, I didn't know that we never talked about that, so I didn't realize that was your system, but I saw like your landing page, because you sent me like the, message that you send your people in the She community, and I checked it out and I was like, wow, this is like, there's so much content here. Like there's so much. If you guys check out, like I can post it into our team page. She has a landing page that whenever someone joins her free She community, she sends them a quick message that has a link to her landing, like a landing page on her website that has like, grab all of her freemiums, and then they're like signing up for whatever one they want. And I was like, that is clearly like, when people see that, they're like, wow, she really is giving me so much stuff. She's such a giver. And then they see you as that. And they also see you as an authority, as someone that knows what they're talking about. And then that's what is developing that relationship with them and nurturing that relationship with them, where they want to go further with you and then buy from you.
Because it builds so nicely month by month. Like, you don't have to stress about, I need to create all of this. If you just follow the simple system month by month, you always have people to go back to and reinvite, and on your email list, to your new freebie, and you're consistently building a new freebie every single month. And each freebie, of course, goes into a very similar funnel that's like, hey, like, how'd you like your freebie? Hey, here's my story. Like, come into my community. And hey, by the way, I run challenge groups. Is that something you're interested in? And so every little one just funnels them down to like, yeah, I'm interested in more information. And then you utilize and lean on your invitation process to move them into your challenge.
And then do you, each month, you send the new freemium to the old people that?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
And you, each month, do they get an invite to a challenge group again or no?
Yeah, so the whole process is like, I just want them to let them know, like, and by the way, here's what I'm doing for my results this month. Because most of the time people want what you have, right? They want to know. That's why it's so important to be that product of the product. One, because you can create the believability, but like, like people, if I'm going to work with, if I was going to hire a personal trainer, and listen, people might hire whatever personal trainer they are, but me personally, I would likely hire a personal trainer who looks like how I want to look, or is at least somewhere in that bracket, right? Like, it understands my lifestyle. Either they're like me or they look like how I want to look, so that I can believe that they know how to get there and follow that system. And so that's really, I think, what you're creating in that is just people understanding and believing in you.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. Does anybody have questions for Bria? More questions?
I love keeping things as simple as possible. I think this business can be overcomplicated really quickly, and it doesn't need to be at all. It just needs to be really simple, but it always starts with you. You got to be the product of the product. You have to. You got to fix those other pieces. Like, you can't be scared anymore, or you at least need to move through the fear, and you got to really commit. Because the other thing I think is so important that people understand is, like, it's heartbreaking as a coach that's been here for so long to see people come in, put all this time and energy in, and then quit because they're overwhelmed or because one of these reasons, or like take a step back and then decide to come back again. It's exhausting. It's like that old metaphor of, it takes a lot of energy to get the airplane up off the ground and into the air. And if you're constantly doing that and then stopping and doing that and stopping, you're gonna burn out, and then you will quit. Always. Like, it's just it's like people starting workout programs and not working and quitting, but they quit before that tipping point, right? That tipping point where we actually get results. It's exhausting, and then they give up and they don't believe in themselves anymore.
Something that I always share with people, whether it's like business related or programs, is like, slow down to speed up. Like, it's my new saying, because so many people are like, that didn't work. And it's like, did you read the directions that were spoon fed to you? Well, no. Like, literally, I will give people a welcome message, and I literally spell things out, and they're like, well, how do I get this? Where do I go? And I'm like, I'll literally copy and paste. I'm like, slow down to speed up. And I point arrows at what I just sent them that they skipped over. And it's like, that's why people struggle with programs. That's why people struggle with business, because literally they don't want to read the first 30. They don't want to listen to this video and where you spelled out each individual email that you're telling people to do and suggesting that works. And it's like, you guys, stop speeding up a process. Like, slow the F down if you want to speed up your success.
Great piece of advice. I would totally agree with you. It's like the tortoise and the hare. It's just the story of how it works. And in the meantime, I know it looks like people go really fast or get results really fast, but they just don't. Like, not in your body, not if you want it to last long term, like not in success, not lasting success. It just takes time. So
I actually did a post like that where I had like the before and after, and I was like, you guys are probably like looking at a lot of before and afters on social media, and you're just like, oh my God, that happened overnight. And then I shared a story of 2 years of up and down. I shared in her story that she would disappear for 2 weeks and then she would come back. And it's like, people see what they want to see. They just see, oh, that happened overnight, and they totally disregard all the ups and downs that the person shared. That's on you. You're only seeing what you want to see, and you're just not ready yet.
Yeah,
Because it is a lot of work.
totally. That's great. Slow down to speed up. I like that. Okay, anyone have any other questions then on the system? Keep it simple. That's what I have for you. Just really focus on that. Every month, like, grow your email list, grow your community, you know, share the value, have fun, and invite. And eventually it'll become a system where it's automatically placing leads in front of you, right? Which is what we want, because we don't want to be like always hunting in our business for, you know, and trying to speed up that process of getting people ready. Build your business and your system so that people are always ready month after month to join you, and you'll stick with this for life and you'll love it. Just the point. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for having me, Marissa.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I'll try to see what resources you have on your website so they can get a look at like the things that you're doing.
Listen, download my freebies, make them your own, and use them. I don't care. Like, just go for it. You can, if you follow through, you're going to see some of my system in there as well. So please have at it.
All right. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it.
All right. Bye, guys. Have a good weekend. Bye.
See you. Bye.